Dakhla Oasis, also spelt Dakhla and translates to the Inner Oasis, is one of the 7 oases of Egypt's Western Desert. Dakhla Oasis lies in the New Valley Governorate, 350 kilometers from the Nile and between the oases of Farafre and Karga. It measures approximately 80 kilometers from east to west and 25 kilometers from north to south. History. Prehistory. The human history of this oasis started during the Pleistocene, when nomadic tribes settled sometimes there, in a time when the Sahara climate was wetter and where humans could have access to lakes and marshes. But about 6,000 years ago, the entire Sahara became drier, changing progressively into a hyper-arid desert. However, specialists think that nomadic hunter-gatherers began to settle almost permanently in the oasis of Dakhla in the period of the Holocene, during new, but rare episodes of wetter times. In fact, the drier climate didn't mean that there was more water than today in what is now known as the Western Desert. The south of the Libyan Desert has the most important supply of subterranean water in the world through the Nubian Aquifer, and the first inhabitants of the Dakhla Oasis had access to surface water sources. Pharaonic period. The first contacts between the pharaonic power and the oases started around 2550 BCE. During the late 6th dynasty, hieratic script was sometimes incised into clay tablets with a stylus, similar to cuneiform. About 500 such tablets have been discovered in the governor's palace at Ain Asl in the Dakhla Oasis. At the time the tablets were made, Dakhla was located far from centers of papyrus production. These tablets record inventories, name lists, accounts, and approximately 50 letters. Islamic period. The fortified Islamic town of Al-Qasr was built at Dakhla Oasis in the 12th century, probably on the remains of a Roman-era settlement by the Ayyubid kings of Egypt. After 1800, the first European traveller to find the Dakhla Oasis was Sir Archibald Edmonston, in the year 1819. He was succeeded by several other early travelers, but it was not until 1908 that the first Egyptologist, Herbert Winlock, visited Dakhla Oasis and noted its monuments in some systematic manner. In the 1950s, detailed studies began, first by Dr. Ahmed Fakhri, and in the late 1970s, an expedition of the Institut Français d'Archéologie Orientale and the Dakhla Oasis Project each began detailed studies in the oasis. Geography. Dakhla Oasis consists of several communities, along a string of sub-oases. The main settlements are Mut, El Misara, Al-Qasr, Calamaun, together with several smaller villages. Some of the communities have identities that are separate from each other. Calamaun has inhabitants that trace their origins to the Ottomans. Dakhla Oasis Project. The Dakhla Oasis Project is a long-term study project of the Dakhla Oasis and the surrounding Paleoasis. Initiated in 1978 when the Royal Ontario Museum and the Society for the Study of Egyptian Antiquities were awarded a joint concession for part of the oasis. In 1979, the Center for Archaeology and Ancient History at Monash University began to cooperate in the project. The DOP studies the interaction between environmental changes and human activity in the Dakhla Oasis. The director of the DOP is Anthony J. Mills, former curator at the Royal Ontario Museum. The excavations at Ismant El Karab, Mut El Karab, Deir Abu Meta and Muzawaka are undertaken with the cooperation of Monash University, under the direction of Gillian E. Bowen. Bowen and Colin Hope, also of Monash, are the principal investigators at Ismant El Karab. The DOP has also excavated at Ain El Gazareen, El Qasr El Dakhil, Deir El Hagrin Ain Burbia, as well as the Dakhla Trust, formed in 1999 to raise money for the DOP. Organizations which have supported or participated in the DOP include the Royal Ontario Museum, the Society for the Study of Egyptian Antiquities, Monash University, the University of Durham, the University of Toronto, Toronto, Columbia University, the American Research Center in Egypt, the Egyptology Society of Victoria and New York University. In addition, excavations are undertaken at Amhida under the direction of Roger S. Bagnall. These were originally conducted under the auspices of Columbia University, but are currently conducted for New York University. Excavations are also underway at Balat under the auspices of the IFAO under the direction of Georges Sokiassian in conjunction with the Ministry for State Antiquities. Dakhla Trust. The Dakhla Trust was formed in 1999 and is a registered charity in Britain. Its declared aim is to advance understanding of the history of the environment and cultural evolution throughout the Quaternary period in the Eastern Sahara, and particularly in the Dakhla Oasis. To this end, the present trustees have committed themselves to supporting the DOP.